June 8, 2025, 10:40 p.m. Tanisha Finley, known online as Bubbly, was live streaming beside her husband, Rodney Finny Da Legend Finley, in front of the glowing Bellagio fountains on the Las Vegas Strip. But within minutes, a man walked by, filming his own stream with a woman at his side. Moments later, that same man reappeared on screen, this time holding a gun. He pulled the trigger 7 times. 6 bullets tore into Rodney. 1 hit Tanisha. And just like that, the live stream turned into a double homicide, captured in real time as hundreds watched. Why would a man execute a couple live on camera? Was it a random act of madness? Or did something darker brew beneath the surface? A digital feud that went too far? This is the story of love, live streams, and the deadly online beef that ended Tanisha and Rodney Finley's lives. Welcome to Femme True Crime, where we tell the raw, untold stories behind the headlines. If you're drawn to truth, justice, and powerful storytelling, join the family. Subscribe now. Tanisha Finley wasn't just a victim caught in someone else's rage. She was a 43-year-old mother, a wife, a woman known online for her warmth, her laughter, and her deep loyalty to her husband, Finny. That night, June 8th, they were doing what they always did, going live, talking to fans, and documenting their night out in Las Vegas. They had no idea that another streamer, someone who had previously threatened them online, was watching. His name? Manuel SinCity MannyWise Ruiz. And what started as petty YouTube drama was about to turn into a double execution, broadcast in real time.
What up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. My fault. My day's all jacked up. But shout out SinCity family. They got our last 2 videos taken down. It don't matter. We're going to keep doing it. SinCity Finny on YouTube. I'm a part of the family now. I'm the Black Stepchild. Manny accepted me in.
I'm dying to see him. Dying to see him. What are we doing? Field bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll be there. I'll be there.
The beef between Finny Da Legend and SinCity MannyWise didn't start with bullets. It started with views. MannyWise had been building his brand on the Las Vegas Strip for years, live streaming nearly every day, talking to tourists, picking fights with trolls, and demanding loyalty from other Vegas-based creators. He saw himself as the king of the Strip. So when Rodney Finley, Finny, started gaining attention for walking those same streets with his wife, building his own tiny platform, Manny took it personally. He began posting videos mocking Finny, calling him irrelevant, a copycat, even accusing him of stealing his style. Finny responded with humor at first, but Manny didn't find it funny. He doubled down, throwing racial slurs, making veiled threats on live streams, and even filing copyright strikes against Finny's videos. Viewers dismissed it as just Vegas drama, until it became real. Sometime in late 2023, while Bubbly and Finny were live streaming on the Strip, they crossed paths with MannyWise in person. Tanisha reportedly stepped in close, confronting him live on camera. And instead of backing down, Manny pulled out pepper spray and blasted both of them in the face. According to friends, Tanisha brushed it off, saying she was okay. But the line had been crossed.
I'm not sure what you watched, but then when the witch tried to swing her stick or staff or whatever and tried to hit me. So I understand what you're saying, but you also have to understand. I can sit and I can say whatever I want to. This is America. We have freedom of speech. So I can say what I want to say in your face. But when you put your hands on me or when you spray something on me, that's when we have a problem. So what you're saying is fine. I don't have any problem with what you're saying, and you absolutely have a right to feel the way that you feel and to believe what you believe. I don't have any problem with that. But I certainly think that when you put your hands on me, that's where I have a problem, and that's where I draw the line. And then when you spray something on me, then that's where I draw the line. In addition, my other problem is you're out here videoing people and you're not asking people if they are allowing you to video them. So when somebody videos you, then you're upset about the situation. Yeah, I'm kind of taking a little bit of issue with that, Jasmine. Like, I don't think that you don't necessarily know me, and again, I appreciate your perspective. You are right that I did go into the situation. Absolutely right. But I certainly think that if I come to you and I say something about you, you still don't have the right to put your hands on me. I think that's where we need to draw the line. And if you think that that's okay, all right, girl, that's what you think.
What was once digital beef had now become physical assault. MannyWise walked away that night. But the tension didn't. And to a man like Manny, one who felt mocked, disrespected, and filmed without consent, this wasn't over. This wasn't some petty online spat. It was toxic, territorial, and boiling over. Before she was a victim, Tanisha Finley was a woman deeply in love. She and Rodney had been married for over a decade. They were best friends, partners in every sense, on camera and off. Their dynamic wasn't flashy or curated like big YouTube couples. It was real. You could hear it in the way Tanisha called him babe while checking the chat, or how she smiled when he told bad jokes, or how she always walked a little closer to the traffic side of the curb, protecting him, even when it didn't look like it. Their channel wasn't just entertainment. It was a diary of black love in motion. So when the threats from MannyWise started coming in, Tanisha stood firm. She didn't shrink. She didn't run. In fact, she was the one who confronted him during that pepper spray incident. Not out of recklessness, but because she believed that no man had the right to scare them off the sidewalk. Friends said she was the brave one, the one who kept her husband calm when things got messy. She wasn't chasing clout. She was defending love. And that's what makes this story so devastating. Because Tanisha Finley didn't just die in the crossfire of a YouTube beef. She died beside the man she loved, trying to hold on to a simple life they built together, one live stream at a time. June 8th, 2025. The Bellagio fountains were glowing. Tanisha and Rodney were live streaming like they always did, talking to their audience, walking arm in arm, living in the light. A man and a woman passed them on the sidewalk. The woman held a phone, streaming. The man, Manuel Ruiz, known online as SinCity MannyWise, walked beside her. He didn't glance at Finny, didn't acknowledge the camera. His head was locked forward. His hands were empty. Moments later, they reappeared. Same man, same woman. But this time, something shifted. MannyWise stopped. He turned to face Finny and Tanisha, two people he'd been beefing with for months. But the woman he was with, she didn't stop. She kept walking, past them, silent, holding the camera, as if she knew not to be in the frame, as if she knew what was about to happen. Without a word, Manny pulled out a gun, and he opened fire. 6 bullets into Rodney, 1 into Tanisha. Screams pierced the stream. The camera shook. Blood splattered the pavement. And that same woman, Manny's wife, screamed from a distance. But her scream sounded off, like performance. Because if your husband stops to confront a couple you know he's had beef with, why do you just keep walking? Why don't you pull him back? Why do you act like you don't even know him until the gun goes off? It's a question still echoing through the Vegas streaming world. Because this wasn't just a shooting. It was a moment years in the making. The strip was chaos. Sirens cut through the night, crowds scattered, and MannyWise, he ran. After firing 7 shots into a married couple in front of hundreds of live viewers, he fled the scene. But not for long. Hours later, he walked into a police station and turned himself in, silent, guarded, lawyer already in motion.
Recording.
Hello? Can you come over here real quick? Let's just face the wall right here. We're just going to detain you real quick, okay? You got any weapons on or anything? All right.
What followed was shock, but not surprise. Viewers who had watched the shooting live were already piecing things together. The clips went viral. Conspiracy theories spread. Some blamed Manny's wife, asking why she kept walking. Others asked why YouTube didn't intervene sooner, given Manny's history of threats and abuse on stream. MannyWise was booked into Clark County Jail on 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon. He claimed self-defense. But there was no weapon found on Finny, no visible threat, no warning, just a live stream. Just Tanisha holding the phone and smiling.
No weapons were found near the victims, on the victims.
And within seconds, 2 lives were gone. The footage was everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube re-uploads, even Reddit threads dissecting each frame. But for Las Vegas Metro PD, the evidence was chillingly simple. 2 unarmed people shot point blank. There were no signs of a struggle, no threat captured on the footage. And yet, MannyWise's attorney claimed he acted in self-defense, citing past run-ins, harassment, and emotional fear. But the public wasn't buying it. How does a man feel threatened by a couple filming peacefully in public? And if he truly feared for his safety, why come back to confront them? Why bring a gun? MannyWise was officially charged with 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon, with potential sentencing enhancements due to the public nature of the act and digital evidence. As prosecutors built their case, more of Manny's past resurfaced. Old streams filled with angry rants, veiled threats, turf talk, and clips of him saying Finny's name in a tone that felt far from innocent. The story was no longer about 2 streamers. It became a conversation about digital ego, online violence, and how real blood can spill from virtual beef. Tanisha Finley wasn't famous. She didn't chase virality. She chased peace. And in a world where clicks and conflict collide, that peace was shattered. Live for everyone to see. She stood beside her husband, not because she wanted drama, but because she believed in love. Because she believed that no man should scare them off a sidewalk or silence their voice online. She died holding that camera, filming the life they built together, bit by bit, stream by stream. And Rodney? He died doing what he loved, talking to people, laughing with his wife, trying to leave a digital footprint that said he mattered. Together, they were just 2 voices in the noise. But now their silence speaks louder than ever. If this story moved you, don't let Tanisha and Rodney be forgotten. Tap like, share their names, and explore the other stories on this channel, each one honoring the lives of those taken too soon.
Please take a moment to appreciate these beautiful words shared at the celebration of life for Rodney Finley and his wife Tanisha Finley. They're shared by the children of Rodney and Tanisha Finley and the mother of Tanisha Finley.
I know that my parents meant a lot to so many of you, and seeing all of your faces brings a little comfort in a time that is anything but comforting. Losing my parents the way we did is something I never imagined. It's hard, it's heavy, it's devastating, and honestly, I'm trying to still wrap my head around it. But what I do know is my parents were love, they were strength, they were the kind of people that you can call in the middle of the night and they show up. They didn't just raise me, they shaped me. And they loved me, and they loved hard. They loved each other, our family, and their community. So today, even though I'm standing here with a broken heart, I want to speak on the legacy that they leave behind, because they were more than just this loss. They were a light that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Let me start with my dad. If you knew him, you already knew that he was a comedian of the family, always smiling, always cracking jokes, finding a way to make people laugh even when they didn't feel like it. He had a way of lighting up any room he walked in. He wasn't just funny, he had a really big heart. My dad showed love through action. He looked out for everybody, whether you were family or somebody he just met in passing. If he could help anyone, if he could help you, he would. That's just how he moved. And if you knew our relationship, you knew he didn't just say, I love you with words, he said it through actions. Whether that was asking me about my car tires, he would ask me and text me, blow my phone up. Did you change your oil yet? How's your tires? You still riding around with the engine light on? And I said, well, the car started and the music bumped. That's all, I'm good. That's it for me. But he showed love through checking on you, making sure you were straight, and making sure your speakers were loud enough to drown out your worries. He also loved sports, he loved his family, and he loved his YouTube. Something shifted in him when he started his YouTube. I watched my dad find purpose, real purpose. Every Tuesday he'd be in the loft that he'd turn into a game room, lights set up, background clean, game systems everywhere, and he'd go live for hours, vibing with his supporters, talking about life, talking about his family, telling stories, dropping wisdom, cracking jokes, and just being himself. You could tell he really loved it. He felt seen. He felt like he was doing something that mattered. And honestly, he was. He touched people, not just here, but everywhere, throughout his videos, throughout his words, throughout the kind of man he was. My dad did everything to make sure we were straight. He provided, he protected, he poured into us. And if you ask me, I think he fulfilled his purpose. I really do. I couldn't have asked for a better father. I'll carry his laughter, his lessons, and his love with me for the rest of my life. My dad was one of a kind, and if I had one more day with him, I wouldn't ask for anything fancy. I just want one more laugh, one more joke, and maybe one more text about my tires. Now, my mom, was the most beautiful, intelligent, wise, grounded, God-fearing mother. There really isn't words to explain. There really isn't words to explain who she was, because she was everything. She loved hard, she gave endlessly, and she carried so much grace the way she moved through this world. She had this peaceful strength about her, and she poured that into every single one of our family members every single day. Her routine was, she was up before the sun every morning at 5 a.m. reading her Bible, working out, cooking, and handling her business like the powerhouse she was. She didn't just have faith, she lived it. And because of her, I saw what it's meant to walk with God, to stand tall, and to love your people unconditionally. One of my favorite things about my mom was her obsession with elephants. We have elephants everywhere in the house, figurines, paintings, trinkets. If it had a trunk, it was coming home with her. And it made sense because elephants represent wisdom, strength, and memory, all things that describe her perfectly. People always called her Bubbly, and I used to laugh at that word, but honestly, it fit her so well. She had this lightness, this energy, this joy that was just hers, and she brought that same spirit everywhere she went, whether it was gardening, cooking, or just being present with the one she loved. She was the definition of what a mother is supposed to be. And I don't just say that because she is mine. I say that because she embodied it. She showed me what it looks like to show up for your family. She inspired me every single day. Watching her become the woman she was meant to be, it changed me. It changed how I see life, and it made me want to be better. I loved making her food whenever I could because we had the same taste buds, and that was one of our little things. I'm gonna miss her laugh. I'm gonna miss her compliments. I'm gonna miss the way her words felt like medicine when I needed it most. I'm gonna miss her energy. Because no one in the world was like my mother. She was truly one of a kind. I aspire to be everything she was in this lifetime, and I promise to fulfill everything she wanted in this lifetime. If I could tell her one more thing, it'd be, Mommy, I saw you. I saw everything that you were, everything you gave, everything you dreamed of, and I'll carry it with me. You are and you will always be my biggest inspiration. Behind my parents leave a legacy that's bigger than words. When my Uncle Joe passed in 2017, I saw something shift in them. I know they felt the pain heavy, but instead of letting it break them, they used it as fuel, and it lit a fire underneath them. And from that moment on, they locked in and got focused, and they elevated. I watched them build the life they talked about, the one they dreamed of. They bought their first big house, not just for themselves, but for all of us, for their grandchildren to grow up in, for their nieces and nephews to come over and feel loved. Every corner of our house has a purpose. I watched them renovate it, decorate it, fill it with memories, and every day they got up and grinded because they wanted better for us, and they made it happen. They said they did what they said they were gonna do. And to see them happy, fulfilled, and at peace, it made me proud. because they did it together and they did it with love. I am so incredibly blessed that I got to move back home after 5 years away and that I got to be with them for that year. Those days, those conversations, those little everyday moments I'll hold on to forever for the rest of my life. I'm so incredibly blessed they gave me siblings, people I'll walk through this life with carrying their strength. I'm so incredibly blessed that they set us up to win, both while here and even now while gone. Thank you, God, for giving me them. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything, for your love, your sacrifices, your guidance, your example. I love you more than words can ever express. And I promise you, as long as I'm breathing, your legacy will remain. I will carry your names with pride, and I'll make sure your stories are told. I will honor you. I will fight for you. I will get you the justice you deserve and the peace we deserve. So while this hurts more than I can ever explain, I won't let this pain silence me. I will let it push me. I will let it fuel me, just like they would, because they didn't raise me to fold. They raised me to finish what they started. Rest easy, Mom and Dad. You did more than enough, and I'll make sure the world never forgets it. Until I see you both again, I'll keep running this race for you. The marathon continues.
I would just like to share something with you that has brought me this far. I'm Tanisha's mother. And what God gave me was his word. And he took me to the Old Testament where he told me he took the man from his mother and his father and brought him together, and he joined him with his wife. And then he took me to the New Testament and he showed me where the two that he has joined together, let no man, let nothing come between. And then he turned around and gave me until death do them part. So I'm here to serve notice on the devil today. Because you didn't win. Even in death, you didn't master it. Because those two, once they return unto God, that one becomes two in him. And I just want to thank you for being here today.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.